What's going on, everybody? It's Professor Gnome, and today I want to do a kind of interesting deck focusing on a couple different cards. So one of those being Glimmora EX, another one of those being the Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon EX, another one of those being Noivern EX, and the final one being the Mawile VSTAR. This deck, or at least an iteration of it, I changed a couple of cards around. But this deck got day 2 at a recent regional. I don't remember exactly which one. I believe it was Louisville, but I could be wrong on that. And it's just a deck that's super interesting to me because it's kind of based on like my games with it and everything like that. It's kind of this like control box style where you have a card that just wins specific matchups that you go up against in kind of an interesting way. And so, for example, if you're up against things like Terapagos or Terapagos, or however you're supposed to say it, then your Glimmora EX is just a nightmare for that Pokemon because you're able to put Dust Field, or you're able to use your Dust Field ability, make it so your opponent can only have 3 cards on the bench, and then you're also hitting them for weakness, so you're knocking them out. You're a huge problem to deal with. And so Glimmora just straight up beats every deck that is run, or it kind of beats every one of those like Terapagos style decks. And then you can go Cornerstone to beat things like Charizard EX and things like that, whatever needs an ability in order for you to be able to beat. And then lastly, what we can do is go Noivern for any other matchups, things like Raging Bolt, stuff like that. We're just really strong into. And so we're able to pivot and move things around. One of the other things that we do is that we have the Mawile VSTAR. This does a couple different things. One, its ability allows us to be really annoying, where it allows us to clean up KOs in the end. If they put something to the bench, we won't really need a boss's orders. We can just flip ourselves into the active, pull up theirs, and get the knockout. But also what it allows us to do, and something that can be really annoying for our opponent, is that if they get put into a situation where like they have to switch around, right? Like, so they have to use 2 switches or a penny or whatever to get around and deal with our Ogerpons and things like that. We can actually always use this as like a secondary boss, throw Mawile up into the active and pull something, and then just kind of keep them trapped there if they don't have a good way to retreat. Let's say if they have like a barrel or something like that, they're out of their switch cards because they already used one earlier, or, you know, they use their prime catcher, something like that. We can always kind of impromptu boss trap with Mawile and use it as a secondary function there. So it's got a lot of really good options to it as well. One of the things to make this deck even more annoying is that we are playing the Handheld Fan. So if a deck like, let's say, one of the decks that you can run into that is a little bit of an issue is Dracopult. Since we don't have a direct independent like counter card, but in those matchups, that's where like Handheld Fan can be really good depending on their build and things like that. Typically what we want to do in those kind of matchups is just focus on using pennies and our A-spec of choice, which is the Scoop Up Cyclone, mostly just so that way we're not giving up prize cards. We're able to attack into the Dracopult and kind of get knockouts over time and just preserve our own play for a little bit, and that's kind of the way that we go about it in that matchup specifically. Outside of that, we focus on being able to just use the double turbo energies, and then we have the fighting energies to power up our Glimmora and our Cornerstone. But yeah, that's kind of the deck, guys. It's a very interesting list, and it's a lot of fun to play, so I definitely recommend giving it a shot. If you want to try the list out for yourself, it's down in the description below, as well as a link to the community Discord if you're interested in joining that. And as always, I want to give a special shout out to the channel members. Thank you guys so much for that additional level of support. It does mean a lot, and it goes a long way. I really do appreciate it. And yeah. Lastly, I'm really tired, by the way, if that didn't come through. My apologies for that, but I wanted to make sure this video got out. But yeah, so lastly, for the YouTube algorithm, all that kind of stuff, I have to say it. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And be sure to let me know what you want to see in the next video. I've gotten a couple different requests that I want to get to soon I saw a request for Roaring Moon EX. There's the previous request that I haven't gotten to yet, just because I haven't found a deck that I think is like good enough to show for it, for the Charjabug Vikavolt deck. But as soon as I can get that deck to work, I will show that off. But yeah, that's kind of it for the intro, and I will see you guys all in game 1 in a moment. Peace. Alright, we're into game number 1, and we're going to be going first. We'll see what we're up against in a moment. We do have Mawile, as well as our Sealstone, which is nice. Depending on the matchup is what we can kind of search out. We see Regidrago, which is nice for us because that's a matchup where being able to get out our Cornerstone will be really good. So we can get rid of this. We can get rid of the fighting energy for right now. Grab ourselves the Cornerstone. Because if we can just set up like 2 Cornerstones, we'll be in a really good position. We can throw the double turbo down. We'll hold on to the Sealstone for right now. And we'll pass. Because on the next turn, what we can do is go Colress Experiment, see what we're able to find in our deck. If we're able to get a fighting energy, that would be super, super good. If not, I mean, we could be annoying and use our Sealstone just for that. I kind of don't really want to do that, but it's something we could do. The main goal here at this point is just to find a second Cornerstone and get that powered up. Them going Iono here is totally fine with us. Obviously, we lose out on the Switch, which we would want. But this is also fine. We get the Arven, so that way what we can do is go Cornerstone down, grab ourselves the Sealstone and the Earthen Vessel, and pip it out. There's the Teal Dance. So I think what we'll do is we'll go Cornerstone, we'll go Arven, and depending on what's in our deck, we can always pivot this. Because we can either go Escape Board, or we can go Sealstone. Not a terrible discard for them, but like not that great. So again, like I said, we can go Arven. We'll grab ourselves. So we'll go Sealstone here. And we'll go Earthen Vessel. We can go Earthen Vessel on the Noibat, since it doesn't really do anything for us at any point in this game. We can grab the fighting energy like we wanted before. We'll place that down. We can even place the hand fan. We'll go Sealstone from here. Place that. Star Alchemy to grab ourselves the Switch. Obviously, I would have preferred the Escape Board, so that way when I make this a Mawile VSTAR later on, I'll be able to retreat it. But this is a situation where I don't really need Mawile's ability later on in this game, so it's fine to use Sealstone. That's the one thing I will say with this deck, is that you kind of have to balance when you want the Sealstone or when you just want Mawile's ability, since obviously you only get one. From here, we can just go Fighting Energy, start powering up the next Cornerstone. Because the real issue they're going to run into is that they have to be playing 2 copies of they'll have to be playing 2 copies of Regidrago, or not Regidrago, of Canceling Cologne. Their hand looks pretty stuck, so we're just going to go Pokégear here. We do find ourselves a Colress experiment. That's pretty good for us. We've already used one, so using another one doesn't really hurt us. We'll grab... We don't really need this, so we'll grab Arven. And we'll grab the Rescue Stretcher for later. I don't really feel like we need the Energy Loto. And then we can just go Demolish. Doing enough damage to knock that out. But yeah, they're going to need 2 copies of Canceling Cologne at least, because they can't one-shot our... They won't be able to one-shot the Cornerstone EX with pretty much anything. They could do it with, like, Lost Impact, but so they'd have to go, like, Cologne, use Regidrago's ability, pick it back up, go Lost Impact, we bring in another one, they knock that out, and then they'd have to knock out Mawile if they don't have a second copy of Canceling Cologne. But right now their hands looks pretty stuck, so that works out for us really well. No, really, we just look for a penny to pick up the Mawile. Just so that way we remove liabilities from our bench. But at this point, it looks like our opponent's going to surrender. They didn't really get the best hand. Oh, they're still playing. So they didn't really get the best hand, but again, this matchup's pretty favorable for us, so I don't think it would matter that dramatically. Again, it just depends on how many, like, Canceling Clones they play. But with things like Iron Thorns kind of falling out of favor right now, less and less people are playing Canceling Clone. Yeah, it looks like they're just gonna timer stall me now. That's annoying. Well, while I have the free time. So, alright. Pokemon Pocket comes out, or Pokemon TCG Pocket, or whatever. Alright, so they lost. Alright, I'll start that conversation then in game number 2. Alright, perfect timing. Works out for me. Alright, I'll see you guys in game number 2 in 1 second. See you guys there. Peace. Alright, we're in game number 2, and we're going to be going first. We get our... What is this thing called again? Glimmet? 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 I don't know. Whatever. I can never pronounce any of these. It's like a problem. I should probably take some time one day and, like, just sit there and learn how to, like, read all these things. Alright. This is about to be an interesting startup. Because if I can get Noibat set up, I'll be in a great position. Like, if I can get one more turn of life, I'll be in a great spot. If they go crazy, power up the Okie Dokie, and boss's orders the Noibat or something, then I'm in a, then I'm in a much worse position. But we'll see, because if I can get into Noibat or Noivern, make a second Noivern, I'll be in a great position. But so far, they're getting through their deck pretty well. There's a Trekking Shoes. There's only one energy in the discard pile so far. We're looking okay. Because they need what? Janine's Secret Art, Dark Patch, and then a manual energy attachment. Oh, they're going for the Monkey Dory. Oh, they're playing Poppy. I disagree with that, but maybe it is the play and I just am not aware of it yet. Good Pokestop for them, not that it's super relevant right this second. Get themselves another Okie Dokie EX. Okay, I mean the Iono's fine, it just gets us a little bit deeper into our deck. Perfect. Okay, this is fine as long as we don't lose Noibat here. And they've already played a Sporter, so we can't get bossed. We have the Ultra Ball in hand. So there's the Dirty Headbutt. We're going to be doing no damage, but it doesn't really matter, because they won't be able to damage us either. So we go Ultra Ball here. We'll get rid of... We only need one Hand Fan. Okay, I'm going to get rid of the Nest Ball and the Hand Fan. And the main reason for this is that I could look to build a second Noivern. But the main issue there is that if I do, they could potentially, like if they run Prime Catcher, they could go Boss's Orders, pull up the Noibat or the other Noivern on the bench, then go Boss's Orders, hold the Noivern up into the active, and just straight up KO it. And like, that's going to be really annoying. I'll outpace the damage here if they just go for like Monkey Dory over and over and over again. Like, it'll be annoying, but we will outpace the damage. But with that being said, I may have to do the Noibat play. There's an Arven. Because we know they have Counter Catcher. And they can hit me for 260. Which is like the problem. Alright, we'll go Colress. Alright. So I think this is going to be the play. We go Nest Ball here. Bring out the bat. Drop the double turbo. In preparation. Because I just need one. Because they're only going to be able to do that play one time. Bravery Charm. Another Bravery Charm. The main issue is that I can't actually boss trap, so this is what I was worried about. And they get the PAL pad too. So they're going to go PAL pad to put the Boss's Orders back in the deck, as well as the Poppy. But this does mean that I won't have to worry about the counter catcher, at least for a little bit. So this does give me time. So I'm gonna go Arven here. I can go Sealstone. Yeah, I'll go Buddy Poffin, get one more card out of my deck. Just help thin a little bit. Grab myself one more bat. Drop the energy down. Go Covert Flight. To help put a little bit more damage down. Then what I'll be able to do on the next turn is that I can go the Scoop Up Cyclone. It's going to take like 2 or 3 more attacks to knock this out. There's a Super Rod. The whole goal here is that if I can loop the Noiverns before they're knocked out, I'll be fine. Because, like, right now they're stuck digging for boss. It'd be super good if they Pokestop their boss away. Let's see. They already used 3 Dark Patch. So we can go Ultra Ball here. Get rid of both of these. Grab myself the other Noivern. Place that down. Go Pokégear here. Do get the Iono. That's fine. I'm gonna go Cyclone here to pick all this back up. Bring my Noivern in. Play this down. Play that. Go Iono here. Perfect. Place this down. Hit for 70, which isn't enough, but it will knock them out with the poison, which means I will take the 2 prize cards. Because its ability doesn't activate in between turns. We're still in a position that they can't use the counter catcher. The question now is, what are they going to actually go for? Because right now we're in a position where if they bring this into the active and they attack into us somehow, we'll still be able to hand fan one of the energies away, and they may not have any more. Because there's 4 energy in the discard, 5, 6, 7, 8 energy, and they've already used 1, 2, 3 Dark Patch and 1 Janine's. So we may be able to get by. But the ideal goal here is just to be able to get into another Noivern. place another hand fan, and then we can just rotate them, picking up whichever one we don't need. So I think we go Arven here. Go Ultra Ball for our other one. Place the double turbo down, grab hand fan, and go from there. Our opponent passed. So yeah, I think that is going to be the play. We unfortunately don't have another hand fan. But we have Ionos. We're never going to like be at risk of decking out before our opponent. We can go Ultra Ball here. We don't need the Cornerstones at this point. Go Ultra Ball. Create this. Throw the energy down just so we were getting the most amount of damage possible. We'll go Covert Flight. Which again, we're only doing 70 damage, and it's going to get reduced with the Monkey Dory. So really, it's like we're only doing 40 damage, so like we're going to be here a little while. But we're in a position where they only have the one boss's orders available, or they wouldn't have PAL pad it for it. And we know they have one counter catcher, which is enough in theory to win them the game. But they have to be able to like switch around the Noiverns in the moment where like that's applicable. Oh, cool. So another player just kind of becoming inactive. Admittedly, this deck is very frustrating to play against. So I get it, but you know, just timers, like, just kind of letting the game end like that is a little bit disappointing. But all right, I mean, game number 2. They definitely had an option to win though, so I don't think they should have surrendered, but that is what it is. That's game number 2. We'll jump into game number 3 in just a moment, and I'll see you guys there. Peace. All right, we're into game number 3. We've gotten very, very lucky with our coin flip, so we're going to be going first. Again in this game, though unfortunately our hand mulligans completely, so that's kind of sad. We give up 2 mulligans, though both of them don't exactly show what our game plan is going to be, so that's nice for us. What we will do is lead Cornerstone, only because we don't know exactly what our opponent's playing yet. We don't know if Glimmora is going to be useful or kind of like important to have. We're kind of in a position that we're going to play it down, and then we're going to go Rescue Board here and then pass. Unfortunately, our turn is not very good. But depending on what we see, we can go Tenacity to grab ourselves something better. Okay, we are actually up against Charizard, so we don't really want anything other than Cornerstones and getting those powered up. The Iono's not that bad for us. We'll take that. It does mean that our Glimmora on the bench is going to need to be picked up at some point, just because it doesn't really do much good for us where it is. We do have the double turbo, so that's going to help us for now. They go Ultra Ball for Rotom. That's fine by me. We'll attach the double turbo, and then from this point, we're just going to drop the Iono. Get ourselves a new hand, because the hand we had was not very good. Try to get ourselves set up for a future turn. We do have an Ultra Ball. This is nice. We'll hold on to it for later, though. We'll pass, because on the next turn, what we can do is go with the Colress Tenacity. grab ourselves our fighting energy, and from there, we'll probably go... Actually, going Colress Tenacity is really dumb. We'll go Arven to grab ourselves the... wonder what they're going to retreat into. Odd they put the energy on that. What we can do, actually, instead, is we're going to go Arven, grab ourselves the Earthen Vessel, and we'll take the Turbo. What we can do is go Ultra Ball, get rid of the Turbo, we'll get rid of the Colress Tenacity, because actually at this point it's not really relevant for what we need. We can grab ourselves a new Cornerstone EX, place that down, we'll go Earthen Vessel, we'll hold on to this, we'll get rid of the Ultra Ball because that's not really relevant anymore. Get to thin our deck out a little bit. We'll go Fighting Energy down onto our Cornerstone. Attack with the Demolish. Moving that from play. One of the things that they can do is they could go... like, they could knock us out here if they have the Canceling Cologne. And then after they use the Canceling Clone, they'd have to go double... They'd have to go, like, double Dust Noir to knock out the next one. But for right now, that's, like, fine. Like, we're not too worried about it. This is Rotom V. If they use their V-Star power here to get themselves Canceling Cologne, we're probably fine. Yeah, they go to get themselves Pidgeot. Pidgeot can search out Canceling. Okay, they have Arven. They do find it. So they can use it here, but they're going to be stuck after the fact. Wait, what? Oh, they just played it down. I don't know. When I saw it in the discard pile, I randomly, for some reason, thought they discarded it. And I was, like, blown away. So we bring in the Cornerstone. We get another double colorless. What we can do is just throw that down. Throw the hand fan down. We'll go ahead and Pokégear here. We do get ourselves the Colress Experiment. That's pretty nice because we're really just looking to pick up, well, that's great. We'll grab the Tenacity and we'll grab the Ultra Ball. So we can place a new one down. And from here, we'll pass our turn. Because, like I said, what they're going to have to do is go for a second... So they're going to have to go, like, Dust Noir here, power up a new one. Like, they can go double Curse Blast to knock this out. But what our plan here is at this point is that, like, we can just use, like, pennies and stuff like that to get around that problem. And every time they do it, they're just going to be giving up prize cards, so... kind of fine by us. So this is going to be the Super Rod. Okay, that tells us they only run a 1-1 line. Or a 1-1-1 line, technically. This is the Nest Ball. That's fine by me. We get the Arven, which actually could be good for us. Let's see. Yeah. Alright, so we're going to go Arven here. Use that to grab the Scoop Up Cyclone. Use that, pick that back up, and place it back down. Go Hand Fan, double Turbo Energy, and pass. Because they've used their boss, they've used their Duskull. If they attack into us, we can just put the energies onto whatever we want. They go Rare Candy into the Duskull again for another Curse Blast. Interesting they put that onto the one on the bench. There's an Arven. So they go super out again. Not really sure why they're retreating. I guess they just don't want the damage on the Charizard EX. It's like the only thing I can really think of. Oh, they're just putting damage onto... Got it. They're just putting damage onto the Cornerstone. Okay, so we'll go Penny on this turn. Pick this back up. Make it so the Curse Blast is never really a problem. If you hear the dog barking outside, I apologize. That's my neighbor's dog. It barks at everything, but it's a really cute dog, so. We'll go Demolish here. Knock this out. It doesn't really matter that we take the knockout there or like go up in prize cards because of the fact that they're already ahead, or we're already ahead, so like the counter catchers, all that kind of stuff, they're always going to be active. It doesn't really matter. And we're getting to the point now where, like, even if they use double Dusknoir, it doesn't matter because we'll just win the game. So we can just look for a boss to knock out the Charmander. And that means that the Duskull will never matter. They have to find... Pretty much their only option at this point is to find themselves like another Seal Stone. Or not another Seal Stone, sorry. They have to find themselves like... Why can't I think of the card? The Canceling Clone. I keep like blanking on what that card's called. And then from here, what I'm going to do is I can just put damage onto this and then look for a boss's orders later to like finish it off, and I think that's just what I'll do. Because what I can do from this point to close out the game, because I have all these pieces on my board, is I can drop the Pokégear, see if I get the boss's orders. If I don't, what I can do is just go Ultra Ball, get rid of the Colress, Tenacity, and the Handheld Fan, get myself my Mawile, which I'm pretty positive is in my deck, place the Mawile down, go the Seal Stone, and just pull the boss's orders from my deck that way. So, they have Rare Candy Dusknoir again. I'm trying to think if there's a play they can make to get 4 prize cards on this turn. And I don't think so. Because they can go Dusknoir onto the active, but that doesn't KO me. They can go Dusknoir onto the bench, that brings them to 3. But the Blair wouldn't be enough. Yep, and that's going to be the concede. Alright, well, that's 3 games down. As you guys can see, this deck, it can be really, really frustrating to deal with, and if there's a couple matchups it doesn't stop, but for the most part, it has an option for just about whatever you're going to be up against, and whatever you're up against is typically, you know, it's just going to really frustrate your opponent. So, you know, be aware of that going into it, but it's a ton of fun to play and really does just have an option for everything. I think it's super interesting to have the Mawile and the Glimmora, even if they're not like the absolute stars of the deck per se. They're just really good for certain different matchups and things like that. So yeah, that's going to be the deck, guys. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Be sure to let me know what you want to see in the next video. And I was going to ask this during the gameplay, but I didn't get a chance because I was focused on, you know, commentary and all that kind of stuff. But Pokemon Pocket, or Pokemon TCG Pocket, comes out in about 8 days in the US. I haven't played it yet. Like, I haven't used a VPN or anything like that in order to play it. I haven't really watched much gameplay on it because I really want to do just like an initial first impressions kind of video and really just go into the game blind and just enjoy it alongside you guys for like the first week or so that it's out and stuff like that. So if that's kind of content that you'd want to see, or if you want to see me cover the game, be sure to let me know so that way I can like have that prepped, because if no one wants to see it and everyone's like, you know, not for it, then I won't do it. But if there is reception to it, I would love to cover the game as well. So we'll see what that looks like. But yeah, that's just about it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Peace.